we have free will, and we always have two paths we can take in life, right? One path is the path to success, the path of the journey and growth, and the other is the path of staying in a victim mindset. If you're in a really bad place, a tough place, I'm so sorry, but do yourself a favor, regardless of what the odds are, and just choose different. Choose different for yourself. Give yourself a chance. Hi, Janna here. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Thank you for tuning in and taking time out of your day to listen to me. So, how did you wake up this morning? Did you wake up in a good mood, bad mood? Where were your thoughts at? And the reason I ask is because what I want to talk about today is that our actions follow our thoughts. And that's not just some mumbo jumbo. It really, really is true. And my first realization in that was when I was super, super sick with Lyme disease. So those of you who have been listening to my show from the beginning, you know I was really ill with Lyme disease, chronic Lyme, for a very long time. I got sick back in 2012. I had no idea what was making me sick. I literally could no longer function. And it was a journey, right? It was a year and a half before I finally found out what was making me so sick. And then at that point, it was chronic Lyme. I was super sick. So I'm just going to do long story short here. If you would like to know more about my journey with Lyme disease, there's some past episodes where I talk much more in depth about it. But the gist is that I was very ill. And when I found out what it was chronic Lyme disease. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't remember my kids' names, my address, where I lived. The bacteria had infected my brain so bad. I was a shell of a woman, right? I couldn't take care of myself full-time, Danny. And it just got to a point to where I just didn't even want to wake up in the morning, right? I would pray to God, please don't let me wake up in the morning. Please let my faith break so I can give up. So that's where I was at. And, for those people who are like, oh, depression is such a sissy way out, it's weak, or suicide is, absolutely it's not. It's not. If a person feels so bad inside emotionally and mentally that they don't want to fucking breathe anymore, I think it's pretty bad. So if any of you judge people who have attempted suicide, or you know someone, sadly enough, who did and succeeded in it, don't ever think that that was weak. And I need to say that. It's really important to say that. Mental disease and symptoms are just, there's a label of shame put on it and guilt. And fuck anyone who does that, because that's not fucking cool. When I had Lyme disease, I was so damn sick. I had severe depression, anxiety attacks, derealization. The brain fog was horrific, panic attacks, and I can go on and on. Memory loss. So as a person who's been severely depressed, you don't see a way out. So don't judge people who are dealing with that or have, because it was no fucking fun for them. I can tell you that much. And all I can say is anyone better pray to God they don't ever have to experience, because it's a living hell. So I'm going to get back to it. Here I am, sick as shit. And every single day, right, it was just a struggle to get through this day. And that's why I was describing my symptoms, right? These are just the neurological ones, by the way, because they were the ones that crippled me the most, not the physical ones, the mental ones. Mental anguish and pain cripples you far more than anything else in life. It's absolute hell. And I lived in absolute hell with not 1 second of reprieve for over 1 million minutes. 1 million minutes. I had no way out. Everything I could read on Lyme disease, it was negative. couldn't be fully eradicated from your body. You can't get well. You can't heal. It's a life sentence. It's a death sentence. And I just got tired of it one day. It was the day I almost drove off the overpass because I didn't want to fucking live anymore. But I didn't want to hurt anybody that was underneath me. So that's why I didn't do it. And that day, when I got home, because I was lost. I couldn't remember how to get home. I just was like, I can't. I thought about taking my life. I can't live like this anymore, God. I can't. And I had a really hard time looking at myself in the mirror because of what the disease did to my body and to my mental state. And I got up from my knees and I went in the bathroom in this very home that I'm in recording this. And I was home alone and I walked in there and I looked in the mirror and I said, fuck Lyme. Fuck you. It's the first time I'd ever said it. But right before that, I got on my knees and I prayed and I said to God, I can't live like this anymore, Father. Every night I ask you to take me so I don't have to wake up the next morning and live in this hell. And every day I wake up and I'm in this hell again. So you clearly aren't going to let me go. And I know you didn't put these two precious kids on earth to have me as a mom like this. They deserve better. So if the reason I'm so sick is because I am meant to help just one other person who's as sick as I am, then you send me through it. But if not, if this is my life, I'm not going to fucking live like this for another second. I can't. It was so absolutely hard to stay in that mindset, that it's a new mindset I created for myself of I can get well. I'm going to choose to believe different because there was no signs of that happening. I had no proof. I had no way out. I didn't know what the fuck to do. Nothing felt right. Nothing got better overnight. But I just chose every single time the negative thoughts came in my mind. I was just like, nope, fuck you. Nope, fuck you too. Out. Nope, negative. That's what I had to do all day, every day. And what I didn't realize at the time, this was 10 years ago, is I was retraining my brain. And that was, I was 31, 32 at that time. And I had lived my whole life just thinking that every thought that came into my head was true and real. And I never realized that, shit, I had a choice of whether I chose to let whatever thought come into my mind stay or give it truth or how it affects me. But I chose every day at that point to believe differently. I chose to believe I could eradicate Lyme from my body. I can get well. I will get well. I will heal. This is not a life sentence. That's all I did. Lo and behold, I started to get well. Was it just because I said it? No. It is because my actions started to follow my thoughts. And that's exactly what this episode is about. It's not just, oh, I said it. Okay, it should be happening any minute now. Alrighty. Nope, that's not what happened. It was that every single day I chose to believe differently. And then I realized, and I didn't realize at the time, right? Because I'm just in this fog every day. It was as I got well, I was like, man, this is working. I'm getting well. And I realized, you know what? This all kind of started when I started to think differently. There's something to this, right? My actions followed my thoughts. I learned to use food as medicine. I learned to starve the disease out. I learned to heal my gut. I learned to take the proper essential oils that break through the biofilm of the Borrelia bacteria that's Lyme disease, and it kills it. It can penetrate my blood-brain barrier. It can do things that antibiotics and other medicines cannot. And I got well. I didn't just get well. I healed myself from the inside out. I healed my gut. I healed my thyroid, got off of all thyroid medication, and it's been about 7 years since I've taken any, maybe 8. And I completely eradicated Lyme from my body. And it was a process. This was a process. It took 1.5 years. I'm not giving up. 1.5 years of hell, 1.5 years of criticisms. And this was after I'd already been sick for over 1.5 years, actually 2 years, and had to endure hell for that, right? Because people judged me for having an invisible disease. Like, oh, you look fine. You're just complaining. No, I'm not. I'm sorry you can't see my mental anguish and pain from the outside, but I'm sick. And I don't need anyone to believe me. I don't need you to believe me. I just need those people to just leave me the fuck alone that were judging me because I had an invisible disease. So let's get back to where I was, right? I'm starting to get well, and I ended up healing myself completely and feeling better than I'd ever felt before. I learned so much about nutrition, and I realized, like, hey, I made God a promise that I was going to help at least one person if I got well. And I had this passion inside of me, right? Of like, I think I know my purpose in this life is to help other people get well. I couldn't ever find the story of hope, right? For Lyme disease, someone who had been as sick as I was, like truly as sick as I was, with all the mental aspect of it, and then they got well. I couldn't find it. And I realized I was meant to be that voice. I was the story of hope. And at this point, I'm realizing that my actions were following my thoughts. And that was Lyme disease was my first catalyst into me realizing the power of the mindset, which my book, which is, y'all now know, is coming out December 11th, this December 11th, my very first book titled Unfuck Your Mind. So Lyme disease was my first catalyst in realizing the power of mindset, right? And then going through a tumultuous hell of a divorce and 3 kids with it. That was the second and final catalyst into me becoming and who I am today, into realizing my mindset holds the power to everything. The success of my mindset determines my level of success in every aspect of my life. And when I realized my actions followed my thoughts, I decided every day I needed to stop beating myself up. No more self-defeating thoughts. And not every day is perfect, folks. Don't get me wrong on that. Not every day is perfect. There's some days where my ass gets kicked. I kick my own ass, and that's okay. But I start to remember, especially the next day, that like, hey, yep, this situation might not be the best and it sucks, but like, I'm not going to live like that anymore. I'm going to start to think differently about things. And when you make that step, y'all, when you start to think differently about things, like, you know what, I'm actually going to choose to not believe this negative crap. And I'm going to actually choose to believe the opposite. I have no proof of it. Don't know if I'm right. I just choose to believe differently because I want differently. And when you choose differently, when you think differently, you do differently, guys. That is my message here. You do differently. You know, if the same approach to life isn't working, I mean, how much longer do we really want to sit back and just wait for the same thing that's not working, just thinking it's going to start working one day? How long do we want to sit back and wait? You know, my take on it is you just try something. If it doesn't work, it don't fucking work. But what if it does? Because the same old shit you've been doing for X amount of years, it ain't working. Well, let's shake shit up a bit, okay? Do you know what? When you shake things up a bit, when you shake a snow globe, it all settles differently. Nothing settles like it was before. So, what's my point? You got to shake it up. You want to shake it up if you want something different. So, as I asked at the beginning of this, how do you feel today? Where are your thoughts? Have you already decided that the day you're having today is not a good day? It could be better. It could be the weekend. It could be closer to, getting off work. I could just be working from home. I wish. Well, you got to make the best of it. The moment I chose to get out of my own way about 14 months ago, I didn't do anything differently as far as like some major breakthrough thing. It was just more like, hey, I kind of want to go after my dreams in life. No one else is going to do it for me. I only got one life to live. And every day I had to wake up and choose that. I didn't know where to start. I knew nothing about any of the stuff I do now, but I just wanted it. And every day I was just like, I chose it. And as I chose that, then my actions, they were going towards that, right? My actions were starting to go where my thoughts were. And I realized it, like I saw this so fast, like quickly. This didn't take me a whole lot of reflecting on it. It didn't take a whole lot of time. It was fast where I was like, man, this is all starting to happen. Like this is happening quick. It's beyond my wildest dreams. Like, holy crap, I had no idea. But yeah, my actions were following my thoughts. So what are your thoughts today? Where are your thoughts today? If you're listening to this on Wednesday when the new episodes air, are you just wishing it was the weekend? What is it that's at the forefront of your mind today? Ask yourself that. If we don't try to enjoy every moment of life and we just think that the only moments there are to enjoy are the big ones, or but it'll be better when I'm off work. It'll be better when, if it was the weekend, that'd be great. I'd love to. It'll be better when. You know what? Excuses are like assholes. We all have them and they all stink. So stop making excuses. Why is it so hard to believe the good sometimes? Why is it like, I can't talk to myself like that, Janna, and think like all these positive things like, I can be successful. I am going to get well. Who gives a shit? Who the fuck are you talking to anyways? How about just thinking good and positive things for yourself? Look, I'm my own worst critic. I'm here to tell you that. But that's why I know that this works. I have to work on it all the time. I'm very OCD. I'm very particular. I like to be in control of certain things because, makes me feel better. I know I like things in a particular way, right? But I know those things about me. And I still have tough days, right? Where I just have to realize, like, you know what? I'm being negative about today. I'm assuming the worst about something before it's ever happened. How's that working out for me? Not every day is going to be amazing, but it can be pretty damn good. When the shitty news happens, when all the unexpected crap, maybe you hear something that just doesn't set well with you, it sucks. But how long do you want it to affect your life? How do you want it to change your life? Is it worth your time and energy? Because wherever your thoughts are taking you, your feet are going to follow, guys. It's like you should be the author of your own story in life. Each and every one of us. You should be writing your own book. You should have the pen in your hand and you are the author of your own damn story. How many of you are the author of your story? And how many of you did you give the pen to someone else to write? I don't want to give anybody else the pen to write my own fucking story. Screw that. I'm going to start thinking positive things every day. That's what you need to tell yourself. Every day, start right now. Yeah, today might suck. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Maybe you're having a shitty day. We all have them. But how much of that do you want to let take over your life and affect you? Like if you're having a shitty day, why make it worse? Your actions go where your thoughts do. If you're like, oh, this always happens to me, I just knew it. Well, because you manifested that shit. Stop doing it. Look, if there's a thought that comes into my mind that I don't like, and I'm like, oh shit, I do not want that to happen. I'm not going to sit there and keep thinking the same thing and be like, oh, I don't like it. The thought came into my head, so it's definitely going to happen. Not cool. No, that's giving into it. That's inviting it in. Choose to believe that, that's not going to happen. All is well. We have to stop giving all the negative stuff life, right? Just because you have a negative thought, a bad thought, doesn't make it true or real. And just how you can choose to be mad about something or choose to be sad about something or bothered, you can also choose to believe differently. You can also choose to have faith. You can also choose to take a chance on yourself. So why not try that? What's so hard about just taking a chance? What's so hard about thinking differently? What's so hard about it? If I never would have chosen to believe that I could get well from Lyme disease, I do not believe I'd be sitting right here today. I think that we have free will and we always have two paths we can take in life, right? One path is the path to success, the path of the journey and growth. And the other is the path of staying in a victim mindset. Man, I know which one I want to take. So I want you to stop being so hard on yourself. Stop being negative. If you're in a really bad place, a tough place, I'm so sorry. But do yourself a favor, regardless of what the odds are, and just choose different. Choose different for yourself. Give yourself a chance. Hey, I'd love to know all your thoughts, your feedback, and, if this advice helped anyone. Because that's what I love doing. I love giving others the tools and their little invisible tool bag, so to speak, where they can help themselves, where they have the ability to break through. That's what I love to do in life. All right, guys, I'm going to get off here for the day, but I will talk to you or see you next week. Don't forget, December 11th, 23, you can unfuck your mind. My book is coming out. You can go to my website, revivedbyjanna.com, and you can sign up for it, for a waiting list. And don't forget to follow me on social media at Revive by Janna if you do not. I know my podcast is Revive with Janna. I do have an Instagram account for Revive with Janna, but all I do there is post my episodes. Revive by Janna is where all the fun stuff is. I love you all. Have a great day.